6:32 this morning now. Open enrollment for health insurance is coming to a close in Arkansas and Oklahoma. That deadline is January 15th.
Many consumers could pay more this year after enhanced tax credits expired. Finance reporter Jacob Luthi joins us now with more. Good morning, Jacob.
Hey, good morning. The enhanced premium tax credits were first created under the American Rescue Plan Act in 2021 and extended through the Inflation Reduction Act, which made health care coverage more affordable for millions. They expired on January 1st, but pressure is building on moderate lawmakers in both parties to find a bipartisan fix for rising health care costs. Now, the tax credits extension, which was at the center of the government shutdown, expanded both the size of the tax credits and who qualified, reaching many middle-income families for the first time. On Thursday, the House of Representatives approved a 3-year extension of health care tax credits that expired on January 1st. Notably, with the support of 17 Republicans, that bill now heads to the Senate, where it's expected to face an uphill battle. Matthew McGough, a policy analyst with the nonprofit health research group KFF, says the average increase nationwide for the Affordable Care Act marketplace premiums, the portion that you at home pay, was 114%, or about $1,000 a year. In Arkansas, McGough says their research shows a 60-year-old earning $63,000 a year could see health insurance premiums jump by 270%, while someone in their 40s could face an increase of about 75%.
Marketplace enrollees will welcome any financial assistance at any point, and it's up to Congress if they want to retroactively apply these tax credits to the beginning of the year and extend open enrollment. But it looks like, some deal may come out in the next few weeks, just because this is really turning into a hot-button issue for many people in America.
Now, in a statement to 5 News, Senator Tom Cotton says COVID-era health subsidies don't lower costs and mostly benefit insurance companies. He goes on to say that he blames rising premiums on Obamacare and says Democrats missed a chance to act last year. Cotton adds he'll continue working with Senate Republicans to lower costs and expand choices for Arkansans. Again, open enrollment ends on January 15th for plans to kick in on February 1st. Jacob Luthi, 5 News.
Thanks for that, Jacob. Well, the state of Arkansas has found Dr. Brian Hyatt mentally fit to proceed in his ongoing Medicaid fraud case. Hyatt's the former director of the behavioral health unit at Northwest Medical. His trial has been delayed multiple times, and the latest was due to the state seeking a fitness to proceed exam. Hyatt has pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of Medicaid fraud. Court documents say that the defense will appeal the findings, and a follow-up hearing will be held in May. You can find more of our coverage on our website, which is 5newsonline.com.
In Logan County, a man is behind bars and facing a first-degree murder charge. 68-year-old John Rich is accused of shooting and killing his stepson, 38-year-old Richard Lease. Police say they responded to the shooting report from a residence on State Highway 23 near Boonville last Wednesday. When they arrived, they say they found Lease dead with multiple gunshot wounds. Police say Rich and Lease lived together at the residence, and a rifle was recovered from the scene.
Well, new this morning, a Sallisaw man has been arrested accused of possessing child sexual abuse material. The Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation says 24-year-old Kai Thomas was taken into custody on January 8th. Thomas's arraignment is set for tomorrow.
Well, today, President Trump is expected to discuss updated options on Iran with his national security team.
Bradley Blackburn has more.
Today, President Trump is expected to discuss updated options on Iran with his national security team, according to several sources familiar with the matter. 2 defense officials also tell CBS News the president has already been briefed on a wide array of military and covert tools.
We're looking at some very strong options. We'll make a determination.
President Trump has repeatedly threatened to strike Iran over its violent crackdown on recent protests, even as he says Tehran seeks talks.
Diplomacy is always the first option for the president. With that said, the president has shown he's unafraid to use military options if and when he deems necessary.
On social media Monday, the president announced a 25% tariff on goods from countries that do business with Iran immediately. Iran's biggest trading partner, China, expressed opposition overnight, adding that it will take all necessary measures to safeguard its interests. U.S.-based activists say hundreds of protesters have been killed and thousands jailed since anti-government demonstrations broke out more than 2 weeks ago in Iran. On CBS News, the country's exiled crown prince had this message for President Trump.
The best way to ensure that there will be less people killed in Iran is to intervene sooner so this regime finally collapses.
Iran's foreign minister says his country is both ready for war or talks with the U.S. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
Well, the state of Minnesota and the cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul have filed suit against the Department of Homeland Security, arguing the federal immigration operations in the state and the Twin Cities have violated federal law. The suit comes less than a week after Minnesota resident Renee Good was shot and killed by an ICE agent while driving her SUV down a Minneapolis street. Over the weekend, DHS released a video showing the minutes leading up to the killing of Renee Good. The Trump administration officials have claimed that she intended to ram ICE agents before she was shot. Well, here in Arkansas, protesters took to the streets in Little Rock on Monday, speaking out against what they call an expanded federal immigration presence. Organizers say that the recent surge of agents and street-level enforcement in the U.S. has raised concerns about training, safety, and accountability.
Because of what they're doing to our cities, they are not police officers. They are doing things that they have no right to do if you look at who they are. They are not getting the training like police officers should. They've backed it up to 6 weeks training for these people, which is why the Renee Good is dead.
Data from UCLA and UC Berkeley showed thousands of ICE arrests in Arkansas since last year. Protesters say that they plan to continue rallying and push lawmakers for change.
Senator John Boozman spoke about the Minnesota shooting in a statement saying that the tragic incident, which is now under investigation, is a reminder for Americans to treat one another with respect and responsibility. Meanwhile, Senator Tom Cotton, who chairs the Senate Intelligence Committee, voiced strong support for ICE and law enforcement, saying that their work targeting illegal immigrants help reduce crime and drugs and makes Arkansas communities safer. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell is facing mounting pressure.
This amidst a Department of Justice probe, which is looking into the $2.5 billion that was spent on renovations to the Federal Reserve headquarters. Powell says the criminal investigation is politically motivated and stems from President Trump's ongoing disagreements with him over interest rates. Lawmakers from both parties are speaking out, with some warning the probe could undermine the integrity of the Federal Reserve and negatively impact the economy.
The Fed has been the gold standard for that kind of monetary policy decision making, and Donald Trump is just burning that to the ground.
The Justice Department is not being weaponized. It was for 4 years under Biden-Harris.
The White House says President Trump did not direct the DOJ to open the investigation into Powell. His term as the Fed chair is scheduled to end in May.